Okay, anyway, part two, and that was the top of my finger. I'm having to hold this iPod Touch to film this, but that's a different story. Anyway, yeah, that's a thing that they don't tell you is you can get those transfer switches amazingly cheap at a RV place. Special brand, Parallax Power Systems. That's the one I use. I'll go in there and I'll show it to you, and I'll show you what exactly it is and how it works. Now, I know there's some people out there that are going to say, oh God, that wiring's a fire hazard. Let me tell you, it doesn't look good, but I've checked everything. It works. No faults. Kiss my ass. This up here is what I'm talking about. You can get this at any RV dealership. There are two cables coming in. The black cord is inverter power. The yellow cord is AC power. And the red cord coming out goes to a circuit breaker that's rated at 10 amps. And that comes down to a plug, which could essentially be branched into the circuit, but because we're rewiring this whole house, there's no circuit to branch it into at the moment. So that's our output. And that'll run AC or it'll run solar. And as like I said, that little box right there, all that is, it's a relay with a timer. And when it senses power coming in on the solar, it waits 30 seconds to make sure there's no glitches. And then it flips the switch, your lights flick for a minute, and you're on solar. And that is that's an old Vector 350 watt inverter that I had. It makes a good standby unit for when everything else is messed up. And if you just need to have something there. I wanted it all on one panel, and that accomplishes that. And this is the feed from the inverter in the other room where it's plugged together. As like I said, instead of getting all those fancy junction boxes and crap like that, this is all you really need. You can do this with your solar panel. These plugs are brass. They will not corrode easily in the environment. You bring your solar panel wiring in here, or if you want, you can just get a duplex outlet and a box that's weatherproof. Bring your solar panel wiring into that so that you have a plug. And just bring the end of your extension cord that you bought for number 12 wire out. Put a weatherproof plug on it. This is not weatherproof because we're indoors. And just plug them together. AC plugs are polarized and they have a color code. Small hole is black, big hole is white, ground is green. What that translates to is the wide blade can be your positive, white. The narrow slot can be your negative, black. And the green can be for carrying data or some other thing you want it to do. I'm thinking about putting some kind of a lightning arrestor or a surge arrestor of some kind there, just something to protect my wiring. Because you've got that third wire, you could use it for anything. Or not use it for anything, because the ground prong ensures that you're not going to get that plug backwards. So you can use it. And it does work. It's good heavy wire, it's good heavy brass. I challenge anybody with 3 or 4 solar panels to burn the brass in this plug up. It's not going to happen. So don't go off and spend, $50-$60 on a little plastic junction box with some fancy knockout brackets or terminals to hook your panels up. If you got the wires already there, just get you some of these connectors. You can wrap this in cellophane, or you can nail it up inside your frame under a ledge so that the rain doesn't fall on it, and you've got it. It's good. Much ado about nothing. Getting to the point of inverters, I was kind of touching on it in the brief description back there. One of the things about inverters, if you can get yourself a pure sine wave inverter, that's good. Pure sine wave inverters are good for electronics. They're good for sensitive loads. The problem with pure sine inverters is they don't have the surge capacity traditionally that a modified sine inverter will do. It's a lot of expense to run just a few things, but I guess if you have a plasma TV or a laser printer or something like that, or a copy machine, I guess that's good to have, but by and large, unless you've got some really delicate electronics, a pure sine inverter is kind of a overkill. If you're just running some lights and you're running a refrigerator or maybe an air conditioner or something like that, modified sine is fine. It'll do the job. Don't go blow a whole bunch of money because some salesman out there says you need that for everything. That really, and I can't emphasize it enough, those are for sensitive electronics. If you have radio equipment or you have some weird stuff that can't handle that, modified sine, then yeah, I get it. But to run your whole house on a pure sine inverter is folly. You've just blown a lot of money. A lot of money. Get you a good, and there's varying qualities of modified sine inverters. Get you one that has a good filtered output so you don't have ringing or spikes. You know, you just have the square wave, or maybe a tapered square wave, you know, where the edges don't shoot up like this, but they come up like this. Vector makes a lot of pretty good stuff on the cheap, and it has a couple of filters on the output that remove the RF that a lot of cheap inverters have on their outputs. Cobra makes pretty good stuff. That little Cobra inverter I showed you, I don't know if you can see it. Nah, you can't quite see it, but it's down there. Anyway, it's not the cheapest, but it's a good one. Avoid truck stops. I have a Superstart inverter sitting over here. If you're going to get a big inverter, don't blow it by buying it at a truck stop. By the time you figure out that thing is junk, you're a million miles from that truck stop, and good luck turning it, you know, taking it back. It's going to be your fault. They're going to say, you know, it's your fault that this messed up. You're going to have a hell of a time getting your refund, because it's a novelty thing to have them there. I've been lucky a couple of times, but I've been burned a couple of times with gas station stuff like that. You know, get that at a place that's reputable so you can carry it back if it messes up. That's the only thing I have about it. Guess that's it. You know, just exercise common sense while you're wiring things. Know a little bit about electricity, and if you don't, find somebody, a friend or whatever, who can help you set it up. Really, people make solar out